Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to another ES Futures trading stream. Today is Thursday, October 9. It is 1:27 a.m. Eastern Time in the US. Has been a has been a hard day to trade, man. Really hard to get to catch something of this movement. I mean, the second, but I wasn't here early in the morning, and I couldn't avoid to be checking um, the markets in my mobile today. So one of the main observations that I have from yesterday was that the day before this would be Tuesday. Right. One of my main observations was that for Tuesday, not Tuesday, my bad, Tuesday, was one of the weakest buy the deep events that I have seen. Right. So there were good odds that there could be some retracement, but unfortunately I couldn't be here. I came back maybe around, kind of like around noon, a little bit after past noon, right? But it still had that little thing, right? Little things telling me, "Mama, this is a market that can break." I am not here. I am not here now. It seems like the potential destination can be this area here. This would be, I was trading this 6740 puts here. I got this could be the potential destination today. Right? Having in consideration that also if I check my daily chart, this would be the opposite side of this range, right? We were talking this, how this market could this is before earnings, right? Before earnings, we always have this kind of stuff. Oh, come on, man! This kind of stuff. The market just is constantly getting short. It's doing this thing here in this range. Now, there was something that was missing here, and that's a catalytic, right? That's a catalytic that came in the form of an announcement from Trump that they could be reducing the importations from China. And that is, after that news, unfortunately, I was out after that, and I did get out because I saw. Well, I got this selling from here, selling from exactly half back as well. But one of the main things that I was observing was that POC that was here moved lower, right? If this if this period would have come to here or maybe up to here, I would have keep my short, right? Because that would have caused that the POC to move actually lower, right? Value, as you can see, is moving lower. Now it's lower, which favors the movement and potentially, as I say, potentially targeting this movement here. Another reason why I got out is because of these highs in Nasdaq here. And now we have 3 highs, but at the time Nasdaq had 4 lows, which are now corrected. And now it's just leaving us this high in the upper side. One other reason that I have to look for that was watching the downside was a really bad day yesterday. Yesterday we had this really bad day in the lower side, not this one, but around EG, right, from yesterday, in which the auction to the downside was not completed actually. And what I mean auction not completed, right? I can see this tremendous pressure to the downside here. More comes here, and again leaves a non-excess here. But even though this is technically 2 or 3 ticks below this low, there's a lot of volume here, huh? But it was pointing to the downside here, but the action was not completed. And look at how the overnight started, right? This is the wrong up period. Absolutely whites here, right? Nice volume in the upper side here, holding the highs. But that was information that I was carrying for 2 days straight. Now, I am now in the part, being in the market, you can be long, short, or you can be out, which is neutral, right? In the morning, I wasn't here. As I say, I wasn't here. And for that reason, obviously I was flat. But it's really hard, right? Really hard to not to think about what you could have done. I feel like I was losing, right? It's really hard to think about that. But after every cycle, remember the cycle, observation here, planning, observation, planning, then come the performance. This is planning, then come the performance, and then come the closing, right? Or the reset. This is the let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go phase as well, in which I have to reset. I forgot everything that happened here. No, my observations may stay for the overall market, not for that specific trade or any kind of trade. The event that trigger, the event that trigger the action part of the planning also has to be forgotten, right? Then the performance, it is part of it really hard. I stay in this. I did a couple trades here, but one day I stayed almost for 2 hours there. This is very demanding part, Today, I think that today was one of the best days in the way that I feel calm. My anxiety was not that high, it was kind of like controlled, right? And now I am in the process. I am in this part again, right? And I am in the reset part where in the morning when I wasn't here, I was trying to do this, and now I am doing this one again. Can the market come down to here? Yes. Can I get back in? Yes, but that would be something like falling for FOMO or for that's what the market wants me to do, right? Market feels makes me believe that I can take money from the market, so I can fall for that, all right? If I don't complete the cycle, and I don't complete the cycle, it's very the odds, right? The odds. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I have to complete the cycle. Right? If I bypass, if I jump this part, especially this one, right? This is very important pass. And instead of doing that, I do this. The odds I can file for over trading, revenge trading, giving back what I have done are increases. I am just not on my right state of mind if I do that. Again, can the market come all the way down to this area or this area? Yes, right? But that's not. I am out now. I had to let it go. I am doing this stream actually because I was feeling a big urge to get back in this trade. Right? Man, this market is doing this. And usually something that happens when we have a trigger like the one we have that has forced this moment. Notice now, for example. Notice how I guess we talked yesterday, during this break, we talk about that. I didn't see the laggards coming here. During this day, there were no laggards here. Today, there's a lot of that short, or a lot of that type of trading that's going on here since this D high, right? Since this D high. When I was away, one of the I made up my mind, and I said I was going to sell a rally. I will sell a rally. Yeah. I said, and the market actually gave us a rally, and with a good, with good areas to check, to monitor. Yeah. And also gave us it gave us levels, or because the trade is very mechanical again, levels to check. I was checking this, for example, the way I was checking. First POC was here. Right? Then POC moved lower. Again, when H didn't reach the low, this POC did not move lower. It had a chance to move lower. Now it also had a chance to move lower. Notice this is 2, 4, 6 wide. How much we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to come to this area, for example, and trade sideways to move POC lower, but it wouldn't move it that much. It wouldn't move it that much. The day is having some downside extension, which makes it different than yesterday. A little bit different, not that much. No, not that much. Now, more weakness here. While this high has been checked. Man, there is something that can happen here. Right? Nasdaq is an inside day. So the odds of rotation in Nasdaq are high. Value is inside value. Okay? The ES has value lower, but it is a rotational day as well. With tremendous, I mean, with trading that is very mechanical trading, that is very obvious here, very, very short time frame going on here. Okay? That's one thing. Russell has not a good low, is having some downside extension, it may reach the opposite side. The Dow is having some downside extension, and it's trading below, it's accumulating value below yesterday's low. Let me check the very questionable low. Is right at the weekly trend line. It has good excess though. It has nice excess in all time frames. That's one thing that I have observed. Nasdaq barely have excess in the daily time frame. It's still below or above this high here. It's still significant, kind of like higher than this trend line. I want to copy this trend line and move it higher here. Okay, there's nothing there. No, there's nothing. I'm just going to leave it there. All right. The shorter these trend lines, the more likely that is going to hold for longer. Now, the same thing that we have here yesterday during the ES, in the ES, the S&P, that's the same thing I am observing here today, around the 6780, which is this the high? Is it? Yeah, I started here. It's weak as well. Let's do. That's when I'm calling this configuration. These are my marks for unfinished actions. All right. Now, the support resistance that I have for the current week is the 67.66. Right? That has been checked. This is low is very questionable low here. This reevaluate POC. I am still keeping this to see what happens. We have nice excess on the upper side. I have an all-time high that was made during the overnight. The odds, I mean, the risk in the lower side has increased here. Watch out, especially in Nasdaq. There could be some sort of short squeeze there in Nasdaq. This low that I have in Nasdaq is similar to the one I have here. Let me open this so I can see better. 3 white low here, 3 white low here. It's very, 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 very weak here, right? So what is holding this market, or what was holding this market, the type of longs that were holding this market were very weak, one of the weakest that I have seen. Now that trade, for me, that trade is over. Another reason, this is another reason, look at these tremendous blocks that we had during the overnight. These 9 blocks here. 3,000. Yesterday's lie at the highs, right? Which came to be POC, came out to be POC, overnight POC, when the day opened today. Now, value is lower, okay? Value is lower. There is a group of traders that will be buying below value area, around this area. Same goes for Nasdaq, and it's not just today's value area, but especially Nasdaq, right? Below yesterday's area. And this was a good area to take profits on Nasdaq. I have a small trade here as well. A small trade. I made at 74, something like that. How far it went? Wow, 70. Oh. Okay. What else? I don't like these colors here. What is that? Why do you like that, man? No, futures. Background. What is the background? Appearance. What is the color? Why? Because of the preset color. Oh, okay. Here it is. What? Has to be this one. Apply. Okay. Oh yeah, that's much better. Appearance. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, now let's save this. Save flexibility as save. Okay, alright, I have that one, that column. It's much better. I like that better. Okay. Now, look at what's happening here now in Nasdaq. I mean, in the ES. My area, these arrows here, signal weakness, and when I do the yellow ones, the yellow leaves, this one, for me represent weakness. Added weakness, right? Fields I have the questionable, whatever is happening here. H coming exact to the tick, right? To the tick. Halfback. To the tick. And now selling coming from this. This one is adding to this. That's why I have it. Now this area is even weaker than this one. So you got to be very careful here now. The short side is very risky now. Right? It's very risky here because the upside potential is significant. Okay, if the trader don't or fails to monitor or fails to keep the plan regarding the stops of areas that the market should not go, you can have a significant loss here. I am not saying that the market is going to go higher, okay? But the movement that is aiming to take this low and these lows out is getting risky now. Well, it's getting risky. The risk has increased here. And I doing the stream, so I apologize for that, because I started doing the stream basically to help me to control myself here. I don't want to get back in this market. I should walk away, actually. That could be better. I can relax, walk the dog as well. The title of the stream remains as arranging markets, because even though we see this market having a significant break, right, relative to yesterday, for example, it is still inside a range. It has a range. It has looked above this range. Now, what I am checking now, another thing that I am checking now is, can or will the market, right, this is the daily, will the market, because it has a chance now, right? It has a chance to print an outside day. Look, it has looked above. Oh, also another thing, it has sold exactly from the trend line. Yeah, has looked above this range, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 day range, has looked above and fell back inside, potentially targeting the opposite side of that range, or such range. And now, but feels it has to deal with this range, the day of yesterday's range, okay? And it may not take this one, or may not take the whole range out, but if it closes below yesterday's low, which now has a chance, again, the odds of doing that are diminished because of these highs that we have up here. But if it happens, that will give us an outside day to the downside, right? Which increases the odds of downside continuation for the upcoming days, maybe for Friday. But I'm seeing here markets still in ranging back and forth. Also, the indices are not in sync. While Russell and the Dow are significantly lower, that's not the case for the ES, and much less Nasdaq. I want to check first, the second thing I'm checking here is if POC can be moved lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If the next period opens inside this area, this leader area here, inside this leader area here, inside this leader area here, POC can move lower, right? And that will give you some sense of safety to shorts, even though we are seeing this. It may even have some downside towards this area here. Okay, this is not a good low. Technically, it's good. Notice where it is. This setup belongs to this day. Notice where it is. a very systematic low. The trading also has been systematic and fueled by the news that have that we have talked just months ago. Let me know if you have any comments here. We can check another market, see if you trade another markets too. What is 66 here? 66 is yesterday's low. Yeah, it's inside yesterday's range. So this could be important here. Okay, if this 66 is taken, okay, this one is not. I did have this area here today after the market gave us this CNE, very mechanical as well, and that was one of the reasons why I got short during the rally. I guess I got lucky here, man. This is really, but it was really hard to do. Who said? I guess Nicholas Taleb. I think it's Nicholas Taleb said, or I don't know who said this. Maybe I'm wrong. We are not thinking machines that feel, by feeling machines that think. We just cannot get rid of emotions. We are always going to feel emotions here. I feel better now. I am more calm. The urge to get back into this market is pretty much have gone away now. It's gone now. I think I am progressing in this stage, right? Okay. That one. No, I don't like that color. Who cares? First stage of trading, second stage of trading, third stage of trading, fourth stage of trading, and the most important, the reset, right? The reset part. This is the observation. Got to be present. I got to be the market. Planning, performance. The triggers appears during the planning, and I get a position. Either I can get either long, short, or neutral here. And the reset. This part here, I have noticed that it was my downfall many times, because I just the thing is now, having access to coaching or to education is really hard because it's expensive. It's very expensive, right? And traders, or at least retail traders, kind of figure out along the way, right, how to get better, by trial and error. And I was getting there until I found I got something And I noticed, right? And I was noticing that, you know, the way how you fall for over trading, for revenge trading, for FOMO, all that stuff. There is something there, right? And it was this part, right? The reset part, and also there's a cycle. There's a time when you observe, when you are the market, part of the market, right? Then you start planning, right? This not necessarily is happens after this. It can be during this or before, even before this. Right? There is something that triggers a trade, triggers a decision here, right? Just to go long, short, or just to remain neutral. Part of the plan involves observing the potential for the trade, right? How much can the rewards, the risk reward can be, right? How much the ratio of this risk reward can be, for example, right? That's one. I think what the market needs to do, what's the behavior, behavior of the market, which is made by traders, right? What is the news that can be there, or especially something that always going to be present, which is uncertainty. This is going to be always here, always. Here, 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 here. And the reset after, before entering another trade, another process. No, not even a trade, right? Another process. Before starting a new process, this part has to be completed. Same phenomena that the market has when it's going lower. We are seeing the same thing. This market is trying to be bought here. The same thing that happened here during this day. Traders at one moment started to buy for mechanical levels. The same thing is happening here again. But look at the weakness on the upper side, right? Now I have this in Nasdaq in the lower side too. This market has a lot to go. There's plenty of time here. There's a lot of time. There's 4 periods. Oof. All right, guys. Unless there's any questions, I'm going to be calling it a day. I'm going to walk the dog here. I don't want to be here. No. All right. This upside is not good. It's a lot of whites here. Seems like the market is obsessed with these references here in the lower side. All right. Have a wonderful rest of the day. I hope you have a good day. If not, you will be able to reset so you can face the market again. All right.